You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio, where the world of hip-hop and sports live.
Union Square, I was there. Radio. Yo, it's still the great. Hot the bearded one. Daz, let's fight. Czar, let's argue. Radio. J.O.J., $6 billion man.
Bars and Hoops Radio.
Yeah, let's get loose. Yo, I number 2 pencil my bars. When it comes to hoops, I play the 4-5 with the drive of a guard. Tournaments with hood stars. They paid the ref a couple of yards to throw the game with an offensive charge. On the bench, it was a firing squad. Wasn't having it. They turned the championship to something hazardous. Some players just never made it out. They died by the dots, by the foul line, the empty Glock, the game shot clock. I know ghetto fiasco. Now I'm the truth like the magic lasso. King of the castle. In Queens, I got a team of jackals. LT with the tackle, graffiti on the scaffold. Ball head with my chattel, rocking the giant afro. Big East with the stats, a triple threat. Southpaw rip through your breast with a pinch of finesse. Before I lay up, I try to bang it on them, rip the net. Bars and hoops, step your game up, we winning. Who got next?
Back to live action.
Let's get it.
So we got the highlight of our show right now. We got Mr. Anthony Yarde by way of London. Lions in the camp, man.
Lions in the camp.
Lions in the camp. Thank you. Man, we really appreciate you taking the time out to kick it with us today, man. So we're going to turn it over to our guy, the nose hunter, Des Ware. Des, set it off.
You know, I got to say my slogan. Urban legends are born every day, and I am the nose hunter. Yo, Mr. Yarde, Anthony Yarde, thank you for, paying us a visit, being our special guest.
Yes.
For our fans, our listeners, just tell us, who is Anthony Yarde, the man, and tell us your upbringing, where you're from in London.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, man. It's a fantastic show. And just about myself, my name's Anthony Yarde. Grew up in the streets of East London, where just like other places in the world, it can be troubled, it can be hard to get out, hard to rise through it. Just a typical story you hear. But I started boxing late. I started boxing when I was 19 years old. Wow. Turned professional when I was 23. I only had 12 amateur fights. But I just had a mentality. My mentality was this: if I want to get out of this situation I'm in, I just got to have a certain mentality, and that's to just go for it. Straight Mike Tyson thing. No points. I wanted to knock out everybody, make a name for myself. And man, the journey's been, it's been nothing short of unbelievable. When I first said what I wanted to do, everybody said, "Oh yeah, take your time. It's impossible. You can't knock out everybody. You can't make a name for yourself so late in boxing. You need to join the GB team, go to Olympics. You need to go with the most popular coaches. You need to play the game, basically." And I just said, no. If you can fight, you can fight. People love excitement. When I watch boxing as a fan, I like to see knockouts. So that's my method. And then now I'm here.
Now, so being a late starter, you started boxing at 19 years old. It's kind of ironic how, people don't understand being a late starter, the pressures that you have, and the people telling you that you can't do it. Like, for instance, myself, I'm just a sparring partner, right? I spar different, pros and amateurs in the gym. I started boxing at 25.
Yes.
And you being 19, only having 12 amateur fights. We've had very few people like Jason Sosa, who had 1 or 2 amateur fights and made his way all the way up to fight Vasily Lomachenko, which is a great accomplishment. I think for people outside, they keep forgetting that when you start boxing as an adult, it's like you are learning on a job super quick. So, people critique you, to how much success you've accomplished with that little. The opponents that you faced, people say, oh, well, Anthony Yarde, he didn't fight anybody, this and this. But, fighting fighters, when you're under 20 professional fights that have records of 26-3, that, a lot of ring experience. It's not easy. You just make guys look like nothing. I see you're getting first round knockouts, to the body and head, which is amazing feat. So guys like you inspired guys. I mean, we had Sonia Lamanakis here. Shout out to Sonia, female heavyweight champion. And we had about 2 weeks ago, and she started in her 30s, you know,
Wow.
and
Beautiful.
became a world champion. You know, what could you say, your advice to late starters like myself and others out there who want to get into the sport and want to be successful and make a name for themselves?
First of all, I'll say thank you, man, for recognizing. You know, a lot of people don't recognize, or a lot of people they do the easy thing, and that's a critique. You know, to be negative. And my advice to anyone that is thinking about starting late, I'll just say look at history. Look at obviously you can't use this as a good example, but it's still an example. Someone like George Foreman. You know, he came back late and won the heavyweight title. I think he was almost 50. Look at Bernard Hopkins. Yes, these people gained experience through the going through the boxing ring and, you know, gaining experience. But someone like Bernard Hopkins, the reason you have to look at him for motivation is he was in prison. He learned how to fight in prison, came out, had his first fight at light heavyweight, lost his first fight, and then came back at middleweight and became, one of the longest reigning heavyweight champions in history, if not the longest. So, you know, it just depends on mentality, your mindset, what you think you can achieve. When I started boxing, listen, this ain't no joke. When I started boxing, I had family, I had friends, close people to me, people that were distant, boxing coaches, they're saying to me, like, it's impossible. Like, you can't just turn professional in 2 years. You can't just train and think you can be as good as all these people that have been boxing since they were age 12, that have been to Olympics. How are you going to you're going to go the hard route, you're going to fight all these people, you're going to be a journeyman. I was saying, I'm stubborn, I'm a Leo. That's why the thing lions in the camp. That's what that lions in the thing, the lions in the camp, that's what it came from. So I just got a lion mentality, and I will be as stubborn as I need to be and accomplish what I need to accomplish. I'll use all my attributes. You know, I was stocky when I was younger from athletics. So I used to do athletics. I said, I'm going to use all my attributes. I'm going to use my speed. I'm just going to go in there with a mentality and not be scared of nothing and just go for it. So it's a mentality, really, and anyone can achieve anything they put their mind to.
So Mr. Yarde, just a quick question. So during those 19 years before you started professionally, were you boxing amateurly in the streets?
You know what? This was my method, yeah. Growing up, I never had I had a couple street fights, yeah, and I wouldn't even say they were fights, you know. I knocked out a couple people on the roadside. I don't even hide this because I'm not a troublemaker.
Hey,
everyone knows me. I'm very calm. I'm not a troublemaker. But when you grow up in certain areas, you know, if you're finding the wrong place, you're gonna find yourself in problems sometimes, and that's what happened. But I've always held myself. You know, I've always been able to protect myself, and that's from, again, watching people like Mike Tyson. I used to stand in front of the mirror and try and shadow box identical to Mike Tyson. The reason I looked at someone like Mike Tyson, because I saw myself as, like, I wasn't really big when I was younger, and I saw Mike Tyson as a small guy knocking out all these heavyweights. So I was like, that's my thing. So I started, like, doing all the practicing in the mirror. I started watching all these documentaries. I see how I used to get leverage off of bending his knees and all that kind of stuff. So I started teaching myself. And then I went to an amateur club in Leighton, which is also in East London. Started learning how to box. And I remember when I was 14, this is when I first went there when I was 14, I went there for like a month. My mum said to the coaches, I don't want my son in a boxing ring. So I wasn't allowed to spar. And then I went there for, so I went there for like a month, hitting the bag and things like that. I left because I'd done athletics. So I left that, I put all my effort into athletics, got injuries. And then, when I hit 19, I said, you know what, I'm going to give this boxing thing a try because I was naturally good at it.
So hearing your story, it's kind of ironic how, you know, things turn out. Hearing it definitely motivated me, even watching you, you know, fight Kovalev. I'm not going to really ride on that too much. Just
no, we'll chat about it. It's good.
So we're going to do it, but I'm just saying the motivation that, you know, that you show to late starters is amazing. Like, I actually used to be in a relationship with someone from your country. She was from West London.
Shout out to
Oh, yeah? Come on.
I actually sparred. I sparred when I went over there. I actually sparred your friend, this dude named Kieran at Miguel's Boxing Gym. I don't know if you know.
Oh, Kieran. Yeah. I spar him sometimes. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny because
shout out to Dez.
When you talk about, like, confidence.
Yeah.
Now, I had one amateur fight in boxing, and won in kickboxing, and I went to the UK when I was 30. So, you know, Kiran, I didn't even know that he was going to be national champion. I actually went on
ABAs.
Exactly. I went to I was in a hotel over there in central London, and the room, let me tell you, I wouldn't by any means. I put my sparring gear in the bag.
Come on.
I didn't have a coach, anyone with me, and I was just like, I went on Google and I happened to find the gym. I said, what's the nearest boxing gym? I just want to go there, work out, and maybe I'll come in and spar. I'll water myself down, you know, just to see. And that was the only guy that I actually sparred there. And he was a late starter, you know.
Yeah.
The hard thing, you know, seeing you fight and seeing that everyone is counting you out, it kind of motivates you. Like when you just talk about your mother, not one of your boxers. Like my mother gave me money to join my first gym. It was Judah Brothers. It was Zab's father owned the gym in Brooklyn. And I went there and I was like, oh yeah, Mom, you support me. And she saw me spoil one video of me sparring. It was like, nah, you know, I don't want you boxing. Even though I didn't get beat up, it was just like, you know, the support there is like, you know, when people say blood, sweat, and tears, sometimes you just got to go sit down and like, man, I have no support. I got to keep going forward.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about when I saw you fight Kovalev, what was, you know, I've lost fights before. What was it like, that type of pressure, fighting in Russia, going to the #1 at one time light heavyweight champions country and fighting, your luggage getting, you know, messed up and doing all type of funny things to keep you, try to make you drained. Like, I remember that whole –
Wow.
I actually watched that fight, and I lost my wallet on the bus. My wallet ended up in Ohio seeing that fight because it was – I was like, wow, man, this is someone that's similar to me that actually did it. So how was that feeling?
The feeling was again, you know, when you're doing it, it's like obviously you've boxed before. So once you're in the ring, it's like you're just in the zone. You know, you're not really acknowledging everything that's going on. And that's how my focus was leading up to the fight. I said this, I was like, look, I've grown up watching, or before I started getting into boxing, I studied again Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, you know, all these stuff, even someone like Paz, you know, all these guys that I studied and I watched, they all had some sort of triumph. They had a moment which made them great. And I just said this, I said, look, I'm not screaming lions on the camp for no reason. It's not nothing. There's a lot of people that say, Anthony Yarde just hype. You know, he don't fight nobody. Let's see how he acts when he gets hit on the chin. Obviously, I know myself. I know, like, from sparring, how I handle myself, from the amateurs, how I handled myself. I went in the amateur game and I bullied everybody. And again, that's not even me, like, boosting myself too much, but I had the mentality of, I'm not going to go and make a name for myself by going in there and playing about with anybody or going in there, keep on going a distance and winning on points. That's not going to make no one talk about it. So, me going to Russia, it was just a mentality thing. I said, look, this is the fight that's getting offered to me. It's my chance to become world champion. I'm 28 now. Or I just turned 28 at the time. And I was saying, it's possible. I know that obviously going to Russia, I'm going to have to win by knockout. I have to. I'm not going out there and getting no decision. They will bump me. I don't care. Because his next fight was against Canelo. They've already planned the fight. So I said, all right. I said I'm going to go in there and knock him out. Everyone was like, okay, yeah, young man, you know, you're big-headed or you're arrogant. I said, no, I'm just trying to be confident. You have to be confident. If I say I'm going to do something, that's what I have to do. So, you know, there was a lot of people, again, a lot of boxing specialists wrote me off. They said, you know, this kid's had 12 amateur fights. He's fought nobody yet. You know, he's knocked out a lot of people in the professionals, but he hasn't fought no one. He don't know what it's like to fight someone like Kovalev, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All the negatives. But in my mind, it was just like this. Great people like Muhammad Ali, look, he lost his boxing license, came back and become world champion. Mm-hmm. It's a mentality. You know, if you feel like you can do something, it's possible. And again, I almost showed that it was possible. I almost knocked him out. Once that bell rang, the only thing I could listen, I looked to the sky and I said, no, because I knew I gave almost everything in that round. You know, everything. Because I said to myself, I'm not going to go out there, try and do this boxing, or I'm going to do this boxing thing. I'm going to win the fight or think I win the fight. And then the judges, it's in their hands for them to say, no, you didn't win. I'd rather it ended how it ended, me give everything and then go again. That's it. Lions in the camp.
So when you went down, it was kind of it's like almost I got a flashback in my head because when I fought kickboxing, I went to cruiserweight. Now I'm not a big light heavyweight. I'm a very small light heavyweight. I'm not cruiserweight.
Yeah.
I went down 3 times from like being kicked, like leg kicks. Like this dude was super strong. I could only imagine. I was like, man, I've been there. I know what's going through his head in some way, not at that level because I'm not a professional, but I'm like, you know, that type of, you know, you're a Leo, I'm a Virgo, so I'm right next door. So I understand mentally, like, I'm not going to quit. This hurts like hell, but I'm going to get up because people are watching me. And I know that feeling of getting up physically and mentally and trying to be like, yo, look, I got to hit this dude the body. I gotta kick his legs from underneath him. And like I'm trying to break through it. You know, was that kind of thinking in your head, like when you seen those jabs? Because those jabs, man, I seen them start jabbing to your chest and body.
Yeah.
And I was like, and you played it off because I was like, man, that had to hurt because knocked a lot of guys down, man. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So with that, when you, let's say, got hurt in that fight, what were you thinking at that time?
The way it happened for me was it was a lot of I don't know if this is the right word, but it was a lot of just, it was like cruise control. It's like I got into the pilot mode situation, you know. I got to the point where I said, I've hurt him now. Because I always said to myself, before the fight, I said to myself, at some point in the fight, I'm going to hurt him. That was my mentality. And if it's after the 6th round, I'm going for it. Because if you watch boxing, after that, the 4 or 5 rounds, people usually, they're in pilot mode now. They're just going off of instincts. They, you know, so a lot of boxers can't think past what they already, you know, they can't work things out apart from the people like Fred Mayweather and things like that. But everyone goes into pilot mode. So I said, if I hurt him after the 6th round, I've adjusted him. He's adjusted me. We know what the set is, and we're just gonna start trading. And at some point I'm gonna land. So when I hurt him and I went for it, and then again he survived it and he started popping his jab again, I said, fuck, I don't even know if I can say on the channel, but I just saw and I was like, you know what, let's go again. And then I think the next round I was okay. So the 9th round I was okay. And then the 10th round, the tiredness that came over my body, you know when your whole body gets hot and you feel like you're just dehydrated? And I was like to myself, I was stepping and my legs wasn't like, it's not that I was dizzy, but my legs wasn't, I was just tired, that you could see with my movement. And then I hurt him with a left foot. But then when I went for the next left foot now, he jabbed me. And this is, again, I'm not one of the people that cry and complain. I will say this, God's in control. If I got up, like I was going to get up and I tried to get up, he would probably hurt me severely. He would have probably hurt me. Because I wasn't hurt in the fight. When I dropped on the floor, sheer exhaustion and, again, being off balance, running into a jab. When I went to get up, the referee gave no count. Like, if you watch back the highlights,
it was a complete stoppage. It was kind
of it was straight away. Obviously, the referee's doing his job. Everyone could see how tired I was. Right. I probably would have got up and got hit with a clean shot or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Yeah, but when I did go to get up here, the referee just literally, I saw him come over me straight away, and I kind of like grabbed him because if you look at the camera came off of us, it went straight to Kovalev. And when I dropped to it, and I looked up at the sky and I was wobbling my leg and I was like, fuck. And I went to get up here. The referee stopped me and I went, what? Like I got angry. But my coach got in the ring. I said, Andy, relax. And then when I thought about it, I said, nah, you know what? He would probably smacked me up. If I got back up here, he would have probably landed a big shot because I was tired. And that's something for me to learn from. Again, I'm not one of them delusional boxers. You know, you talk to a lot of boxing, they're saying, nah, man, I got robbed, or, you know, I could have got up and done this. I must be honest with myself. My thing is this: next time, I just got to be better. That's a mentality, you know. You can only do better.
And it's funny that you you know, when you are that fatigued, like you're going up an extra level in competition. And when you have that type of, everyone makes excuses. Oh, you wasn't in shape. Oh, you had too much muscles. Like I gained weight. I gained weight to go to 185 and I made 183. And you train your hardest. And but when you have that type of power hitting you and a guy has way more fights than you, like when I was down, I looked up because I was in a small arena and I'm looking up, and I just took that deep breath. I had to count, and I took that deep breath until I got up, and then I see the doctor coming up, and it's like, nah, you're not fighting. And that feeling, you are angry because it's like, I'm not making excuses, but it's like, I don't want any praise. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, you don't even want to go out. So that feeling kind of, like, when I saw that fight, it was like, nah, he's going to be all right, but people going to write him off. But realize that Pascal he did better than Pascal. He did better than a lot of other fighters.
I've landed the most punches on Kovalev in history.
Wow.
The most punches, but no one talks about that. And someone that's come with no experience to do that. Kovalev, again, him and his coach gave me all the praises in the world. You know, his coach come in the change room afterwards and said, I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be an easy boxing match because I know Kovalev's jab and all them kind of things. But you're a warrior, and don't worry, come back and all them kind of things. Obviously, I wasn't trying to hear that at the time. I was thinking to myself, nah, F that, I lost.
Well, but, you got some fast hands. That's
man, I'm trying, bro. I'm just trying to work, man.
You're a Dragon Ball Z fan, I see. I watched social media. I was like, you asked a question online, and I think I sent a comment. He said, well, what character would I be? I said, Broly. I said, you're
Broly. Straight Broly. Come on. Super Saiyan good. Legendary Super Saiyan.
Like Super Saiyan 2, Broly. Now, I want to talk about Tunde because Tunde also is into like nutrition and so forth, but as of being a motivator, I did critique Tunde. I will admit when he said that, you could out skill Andre Ward. Andre Ward is my favorite.
Okay,
But I understand, things are for marketing and you have to promote the fight. And it was a very brilliant marketing by yourself and Tunde. A lot of people don't acknowledge that. Now, how was your dynamic? Was Tunde always your coach, or did you have other coaches before, like finding Tunde? And how was your dynamic with him?
I'm a very loyal person. So I had one amateur coach through thick and thin, and I had one professional coach, and I'm going to have one professional coach through thick and thin. The most I would do is add to my team. And we've got another coach there named Ade, Coach Ade. He's the big guy, the guy that wears a body belt for me.
Yeah, it's huge.
So, he's massive. He's strong as well. He's strong. So, again, it's a team. I'm a very loyal person. So, I joined Tunde in 2013. I started training to box when I was in 2011.
Wow.
And I started training with a guy named Tony Cisse, who was a brilliant amateur. He had a club named Omnibus. Again, he had his own club. You know when you join boxing, there's a lot of politics. There's a lot of follow the crowd. There's a lot of follow the crowd antics that go on in boxing. Everyone wants to be where the most people are at, where the biggest names are. But when I joined Tony, I just got along with him. I liked his training methods. He pushed me to my absolute limit. He had no easy routes to anything. So me and Tony worked good together. We went through the amateurs. He wanted me to, again, there's a club in London named Repton. And that's like a well-known club. Usually fighters from there get chosen to go to the GB squad and, go the normal route. But I said to Tony, no, I want to do things a different way. I want to go the hard route. I want to knock out all these guys, the guys that are in these clubs. And I want to help you, again, boost your name and boost your credibility as a coach. If I'm with another club, you can't get your credibility. So I had the same kind of method with Tunde. I joined Tunde in 2013. We went out to Vegas to Floyd's gym. He'd been going there some previous years. And again, I was one of the people that I joined his team at the time, and I just worked my ass off to get myself into a better position, get myself noticed. And then when I turned professional, when I made the decision to turn professional in 2015.
That's great.
I said, me and Tunde we just worked together, man. Tunde has added to my skill set, in terms of like my defense, how I view boxing. I had a lot of foundations built into me through Tony Cisse. So again, I will always give both of them a lot of credit. And me and Tunde right now, we work tirelessly together right now to help develop my skills even more.
And with Tunde, I see a lot of similarities. Like I said again, like seeing you fight is like motivation to guys like me. I'm a little bit older. I'm about to be 33. And having that coach, see a lot of people criticize Tunde and they'll say like, oh, he's delusional, he's this. I watch YouTube, I see all these people. But when, am I right or wrong? Like when you have a coach that believes in you so much, like my coach used to tell me when I used to spar pros, and he never worked the corner with me ever. And I always found my way to hold my own with pros and amateurs. He said, the other guy has two hands as well. Like when a guy like Tunde believes in your skill set so bad, do you feel like that energy from him just propelled your career and the relationship? Because y'all have a unique dynamic. Because I saw a video where you were like, you ran up on him with the camera. You made fun of his haircut he gave to him. And I was dying when I saw that, because I was like, yo, that looked like somebody took one of these microphones and shaped it up. It was like a Nino Brown or Bishop from Juice. He didn't know what he wanted to do.
Man.
So, what was that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, me and Tony's relationship, again, we're just like every other uncle and uncle and nephew, basically. You know, we argue. I don't agree with everything he does. You know, sometimes he talks too much. Sometimes he says things that are bizarre. Sometimes he says things he shouldn't say, or sometimes he says things when he's like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but it is what it is. And again, sometimes I'll do things that are wrong. It's just like every family orientation. And the thing about me and Tunde is, you know, the most important goal that we have in similarity is we both want to, you know, become world champion. We both want to rise in the sport of boxing. Boxing comes first to both of us. And we both have a tremendous work ethic. You know, Tunde is, you know, doing what he needs to do behind closed doors a lot of hours throughout the day. You know, he's very set on, you know, strategy. You know, he wakes up at the same time every day, does what he needs to do, naps at the same time every day. I'm a bit different, you know. I can't do that robotic thing, you know. But he does the same things. And again, he studies, he does his pad work, he writes down his all the things that he needs to be writing down from his study and things like that. And that's why I feel like Tunde found me and I found Tunde, because I was always a person that was striving to find someone that was going to work as hard as me. And Tunde was doing the same. So, yeah, he's going to do these things where, you know, I'm in the background saying, you're a donut, man. Why are you saying that? You're doing this, you're doing that. And we're arguing in the background, but the goal is the same, you know. And I always judge him by his heart. And he's got the heart of gold. You know, he's one of them people. He's got such a pure heart. He wants the best for everybody. And, you know, just like someone like Fred Mayweather, you know, he got a lot of stick for saying he's the best and for being, you know, confident within himself.
Yeah.
And someone like Tony just, you know, reiterating that and trying to be the best person, the best version of himself. And he has to take on the people that ain't going to like that. You get what I'm saying? So it's just, it is what it is. But the main thing is he's got a heart of gold, man.
So with now we see like your physique and how you train.
Yeah.
And I know Tunde does nutrition, but how do you keep on that muscle mass when you come down and weight? Like, how's your diet and how's your training regimen? I don't really see a lot of heavy lifting, but I see a lot of calisthenic workouts. You know, I know what it's like to cut weight. I went down to 173 and I look like a crackhead. So,
it's real.
Like, I was like, when I saw you first fight, I was like, just do the cruiserweight, because I'm like, how does he make 174 and keep on that muscle? So how's your diet and regimen? Like, what are your training?
First of all, I will give no credit to Tunde when it comes to my nutrition. I'll tell you that for free. Don't let him trick you now. But Tunde, you know, even when Tunde was a professional, he said that the thing that he didn't focus enough on was his nutrition. He said he was Sugar Ray Leonard for the first round, and then after that, when he got tired, because he didn't do his nutrition properly. So I'm one of the people, because I've done athletics, and I understand the importance of nutrition and how to get your weight down properly and things like that. And obviously, I'm a big guy to get my weight down properly. Again, I don't hide it. You know, I go on YouTube. You know, I listen to a lot of people and their methods of how athletes should lose weight. I separate the bullshit from the things that make sense, you know. And I didn't get no degree in nutrition, so I only have to go by what makes sense to me. I have to do trial and error, you know. Growing up throughout my career, I'm still adjusting. I'm still learning things about my body. I'm still trying new foods and trying new methods. You know, I've done the keto diet. I've done so all these kind of things. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's about living a better lifestyle, and that's what I've learned. So that's why if you look at me now, from when I started my professional career, I look a bit slimmer, because when I started, I was just bulky 24/7. After my fights, I'll go and eat donuts, flipping, whatever you could think of. I will. Fish and chips, chicken and chips, all that. So,
Bagel King,
yeah. You know, you definitely live in London. He knows.
Bagel King. I almost, you know, going to London is kind of equivalent to where Bagel King is always kind of in the hood, Like
Yeah. Always.
And you go to an after-hour spot, and it's kind of remind me of like what's we got over here, like the Coliseum block or something.
Yeah.
So we got the Coliseum over here where you get the beef patty like that.
Oh God.
And the food I had in London, like the West Indian food. I'm like, I see how these fighters make weight because I got myself some, curry chicken and rice, and I'm like, yo, where's the rest of the plate?
Yeah, trust me. No, but with me, I'm a monstrous eater. Like I go to a Caribbean shop here and get but I'll get 2 meals and eat them at once.
Wow.
So it's like I'm a foodie. Like I love my food. So when it comes to like my boxing and I'm fighting, it's pure sacrifice. You just gotta sustain from all the privileges of how you want to eat and all them kind of things. And that's just the world of success. When you want something, you need to sacrifice. You need to put more effort into something. You need to take life seriously. And again, that's things I'm still adjusting to. I've had 20 professional fights now. Haven't been the distance a lot of the time. I've had 19 knockouts or 18 knockouts out of 20 fights, 1 loss. So I'm still learning on the job. Amateurs is not professionals. It's a complete different game. They're complete different ball game. So I'm just learning on the job, really.
Mr. Yarde, how you doing?
I'm good, my brother.
From my son who's listening, and he noticed that you was a Dragon Ball Z fan. He said, "Who would you fight, Goku or the Hulk?"
I would definitely fight the Hulk because the Hulk you can manipulate. You can. The Hulk's got a lot of weaknesses there. Goku, he just keeps getting stronger. Goku's got that thing of, when he got to Ultra Instinct, there's nothing surpassing that. So yeah, man, I would definitely, I'll smack up the Hulk.
Yeah, we had that argument early on today.
Yeah, what did you say?
I said the Hulk because the more he gets madder, the stronger he gets.
Okay. But shouldn't faint everything. Sometimes it's about the smarts.
Super Saiyan 4 Goku, nobody's touching Super Saiyan.
I'm telling you. No, when Goku went Ultra Instinct, he's on Lord Beerus's level. Sir.
It's okay.
Sir, he's on Lord Beerus's level. So you ain't beating him once he goes Ultra Instinct.
Now with and it's funny that we just talked about, me being in London and just seeing the climate, like going to the hood and different things like that.
Yeah. With
this, I seen you post about a lot of social issues, and that's what I respect about you as an athlete. You're not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
London is a little bit different than the United States, but we do have similar kind of problems with like corruption. Now with this George Floyd situation and Breonna Taylor, just, kind of tell our listeners, like, how was it like dealing with being from East London and dealing with, the streets and so forth, like with police and corruption and like the racism. How was that for you over there across the pond?
Do you know what? Again, a lot of people, one thing I realized about parts of America was that the Americans that haven't been to London or been to England have the wrong views of London and what it's like. Because I remember someone like Jay Leon Love, from Flair's Gym. When I first went to Vegas and I spoke to him, he looked at me and he was like, "You're not from London?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." So he goes, "Is there black girls over there?" I was like, "Who says black girls over there?" He's like, "What?" So it's like, so in his mind, it's like, from what he sees on media and what's portrayed to him, is he's seeing everyone over here with a cup of tea, these posh white people. Mm-hmm. He's not knowing. You get what I'm saying?
Crumpets.
And that's what they say: crumpets and tea and toast and all them kind of things there. So he's not knowing that over here we got hoods as well. People out here getting shot and stabbed left, right, and center. Exactly. Places like Brixton and all them kind of things there. So it's like, it depends on your reality. And when it comes to this whole racism thing, the media makes people view black people or gives this view of negativity when they show black people. So even when you're looking at, I was watching something on Netflix the other day with Killer Mike, and he went to the hood, and shout out to Killer Mike, and he went and got people from the Crips, and he got people from the Bloods, and he made them start their own business. Because he was like, the way the black people are portrayed and the way these gangs are portrayed, other companies like Coca-Cola, that kill how many thousand people per year, and the Rothschilds, I think they're the motorbike people in it, they were known as gangs as well, but they're celebrated. Do you get what I'm saying? And then people like Say that again.
I said, yeah, you talking that talk. Yes,
You get what I'm saying? So it's like they're celebrated, and then you got the other when it's anything to do with black people, and they always shine the negative. They don't ever shine the positive. You know how much the Crips and Bloods, how much people that they actually do take off the street, and how much people. Yeah, you always got your bad side to everything. You got your negative to everything, but then there's people in these societies who are doing good, but they never show that part. They only show the bad bit. So over here in England, we got this thing of when you go LA, don't be wearing no blood colors because you will get
gray
shot.
And brown and black.
Yeah, but that's not what it is.
We're neutral colors.
Do you get what I'm saying? We're mutual colors, but then that's not really how it is. Then you might get that situation, just like everywhere else, but how it's portrayed over here and how much it's magnified, that's not the reality. And that's what Americans get with England. They're like, over here it's all tea and crumpets, but it's not.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
It's actually like New York. I rode the train when I was I was in I was in London when I went to Dubai, like 3 years ago. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I went to Dubai. I had a layover in London for about 20 hours. So I took the train down to Piccadilly. What's that? Piccadilly Circus.
Yes.
Piccadilly Circus. I took the train. I went, got my fish and chips. I actually got to experience London for those 20 hours that I was there, and it reminded me a lot of New York.
Yes,
it reminded me of New York.
Yeah,
definitely. Because you go out on the main streets and you will see, like in Stratford, you got Westfield, you got Piccadilly Circus, you got all these nice places, but you take the wrong turning, you're in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Hung them.
Yeah, exactly.
Albuquerque.
There we go.
So when it comes to like things like racism, I just see it as it's an illness. Racism is an illness because I'll put it down to like this: if you got a breed of a dog, so you got a pit bull, this is the exact same thing it is. I see a black pit bull and I see a white pit bull. I start treating that white pit bull better than I do the black pit bull because of the color. Where they're the same dog, it's just that depending who brought them dogs up, that's and what environment they're put in, that's how them dogs are going to act. They're going to act accordingly based on how they've been taught and based on the environment they've been brought up in. 100%. If you bring up a pit bull around a cat, it's going to have cat tendencies. If you bring up a pit bull around 3 other violent dogs, it's going to have violent tendencies. So it's like, I'm not saying human beings are dogs, but we learn similar. But we're more evolved. You know, we talk. We're able to communicate with each other. So that's all it is. You know, it's just environments. You know, if you go to certain places in America, you know, you got Latinos, you got blacks, you got whites, all acting hood, but then they will label that as acting black.
Yeah,
quote unquote. Do you get what I'm saying? And then you got in corporate areas where you got the same black, white, Indian, all everything. If they're acting, you know, got in their suit and tie, you know, and they're doing well for themselves, you know, and they're talking with real lingo or talking proper English, they say, are they acting white?
Yep.
So it's like,
wow.
It's just about opening your mind, man, and seeing things for what they are.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Mr. Yarde, what's going on, man? It's the bearded one. How
Come
you
on.
doing?
Lions in the camp.
Lions in the camp.
You got a main too.
The first time I heard you said that, you made me think about a movie called The Ghost in the Darkness. You ever heard of that before?
I've never heard it, but I want to watch it tonight.
The Ghost in the Darkness is about some 2 man-eating lions in Tsavo. They was building a railroad in Kenya, and they had to compete with these 2 lions that was man-eaters and kept coming into the camp. I always thought that's what you meant when you said it, like, when we
Lions
show up, you better make yourself known.
Yeah. I'm gonna add to that.
So, where could we say we're gonna see Anthony Yarde in 5 years?
You know what? In 5 years, you see me wherever I'm meant to be. I feel that the hard work will be evident, just like it's been evident so far. You know, I got to the biggest stage, and I'm going to continue to get there. You know, I fell short just by a couple inches. Or by a couple of seconds, you can say. And I'm going to keep rising, man. I'm going to keep elevating, demonstrating, motivating, applying myself. And I'm going to keep, I don't really focus on any naysayers or any negativity, but I'm going to keep proving to myself that it's achievable and it's attainable.
Yes. No doubt. Definitely.
Yes.
So I got a question for you, man. I see you on Instagram and I see you shadow boxing, ripped in Adidas, headphones on.
Yes.
What is Anthony Yarde listening to in his headphones today? What hip hop artists are you listening to today that you rock out to?
Do you know what? There's a few. You know, I love Meat Mill. I love what he stands for. I love what he's been through, how he's triumphed through everything. You know, going in prison for no reason, all that nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, I love Jay-Z. You know, he's more of the boss. Shout out to Hope, the boss mentality. So someone that's come up from, in one of his albums, he said, "I sold drugs, got away scot-free." Listen, he's a boss. He's a boss. Listen, someone like Jay-Z, I'm always gonna listen to because he's now talking about wealth, you know, generational wealth, and he's elevated. He's showing that people can elevate. You know, someone like Kanye, who he don't really rap no more, but he's going. If he goes president, yeah. I'm flying to America. I'm finding a way to vote. Listen, I'm finding a way to vote because someone like Jay-Z, someone like Kanye, I love his, because people always say like he's crazy and things like that, but then he always comes up with something genius afterwards. I love that shit.
That's what
Future, you know, I've loved Future from day one. You know, you gotta salute someone like Eminem, you know, lyrical genius. You know, Nas, you know, there's so many, man, but the current ones, you know, you gotta love the baby as well. The baby's coming through nice as well.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, there's a few I listen to, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Music from it's funny, like hip hop from London too. There's a lot of MCs in London.
Yeah, there's
crazy. Like the stuff that y'all rap about. I had to go, like we talked about earlier, go to London and see. I was chilling with my ex-girlfriend back then, and I was like, yo. Walking around with Rambo knives over here, like
it's mad. It's mad.
Guns over there, like it's a real, like guys, like I was really over there. I was walking through Brixton, like Brixton Market and all that.
Brixton,
and I got off the bus and I'm like,
it's mad, isn't it?
They hear your accent, like, yo, they gonna pull out that knife on you. I'm like, nah, son, like they ain't gonna do nothing.
They were like, what, son?
I'm like, these dudes in London ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm from New York. Yada yada. No, they look like they're staring at you. You see their eyes, and it's like New York people. They got a problem. Like we're arrogant. We're idiots over here, right?
Yeah.
So they'll come to you and be like, nah, son got static, son. Like I'm gonna go press them. London, y'all not gonna do that. Y'all just gonna meet the person outside. Y'all gonna be quiet, and then it happen. Like, you know, who's your favorite rapper? Favorite rappers from the UK, because you know y'all coming along very rapidly. Like UK.
You know what? There's a couple of my friends. You know, I've met them either through being in the industry or people I knew before. So there's someone called Chip, lyrical genius. You know, he's very good. Stormzy, who's obviously branched out global now. I know him as well. He's very good. Fredo, I know him as well.
Fredo, okay.
He's actually someone that's actually lived the lifestyle, and he's
wow.
It's like I know his manager, and people like his manager are trying to get him, like had to get him to move out of the area because he's so attached to his hood, like he's still celebrating his hood. Okay. There's a few rappers over him and that, you know, I respect and that are doing their thing.
Nice.
Like the also like you with the AY brand, right? This is
yes.
What are you doing for the youth in your community that look up to you in regards to everything that you're doing, the lifestyle you're living, clean lifestyle you're living, and you know, helping them find a way out? Like what moves are you guys doing over there?
You know what, I'm doing a lot. You know, I want to do more. One of my closest friends, you know, he's got a charity. You know, we started boxing at the same time. He went on one path, I went on another path, and we both said we're going to meet back up again and help change these children. You know, help these children out. He's got an academy called Box Up Crime, and it's based in London and Essex. So you've got Barking, you've got Dagenham, and I think he's in 5 countries now. So he's in Switzerland. I can't remember the other countries, but he's doing very well. So what I do a lot of the time is I go there, I speak to the kids, you know, I show them that I'm an example of someone that's come from sometimes worse situation that they were in. And I just made a decision. Once you make a decision and you've got opportunity. So I always use the example of poverty, no opportunity and opportunity. Yes, where we live in London, where sometimes it can be a bit hard, or, you know, you might not get a job. You know, you live in America where, you know, the welfare checks ain't coming in. It's hard. You know, your mum ain't got no money. You're starving. You need to rob someone. You've been in prison, all them kind of things. But the opportunities are still there. You know, if you're living in a place like poverty India or poverty Jamaica, there's no way out unless you're willing to walk or run all these miles and to, you know, your inner area you can't get out of. So where I see that, from you got opportunity, there's hope. You know, I was able to bump the train, to jump over the barrier, bump the train, risk getting the ticket to get to the boxing gym. Wow. You know, so you can do that.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying? Any means necessary. So I always weigh up the odds. I'm like, cool, I'm in a situation now where I can sell drugs, possibly go prison, waste all my life, or I can bump this train, get a ticket, but I'm in the boxing gym. And that's what I always try to analyze things. And I said, I don't mind getting a couple of tickets or getting in trouble by the police, getting to the boxing because I've got a better purpose. And these are the kind of things that I won't rumble on too much now, but these are the kind of things that I try to instill into these children, that they have opportunity. And it's the decisions that they make that can determine the outcome of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No question.
That's actually enlightening.
But you know, and with that, you know, with being said, you know, that's why I follow you, and you know, definitely enjoy the process and seeing the process of you evolving into, you know, not just elite light heavyweight,
mm-hmm.
but you know, just as a person, you know, like we don't, you know, everyone that we've had on our platform motivates people, you know, and I think that's what we want to do for the community, not just for children, but we also want to do for adults. So would you mind staying on our show a little bit longer, you know, and go into the next segment with us?
It's up to him, man. We definitely got a hip-hop segment we want to get into. We got about another 50 minutes left in the show. We don't know if you have that time. If you don't have it, you know, it's cool, but we definitely appreciate you chiming in and checking in with us. Yeah. But we'll get to another 5-minute DJ JLJ mini mix. And when we come back, man, we're going to get back to this rap report. You know what I mean? We got the versus battle to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. So don't forget the number to call in. It's 516-206-0711. Barsandhoopsradio. Check in with us.